Hey everyone, this is Bill. I'm that expat prepper living in the Philippines. So, we've all had minor fender benders and we've all had bumps and scrapes on cars, right? Typically, it's something you would ignore. And if you look here, you can see this was a front on collision where my wife had hit the back of a motorbike, right? No fault issue. And you can see that the damage was really to this plastic lower bumper. Now the license plate took some damage and there's some other issues that were involved. But it was something when I first saw this, I was like, okay, hey, this is not a big deal. Um, we can actually almost live with it, right? So I was in the mindset that we'll just live with this, and um, I didn't take any action on it for like a month or two. And then this little thing I'm circling right now, I'll talk about, but this is the cruise control module radar sensor. And this is what made me determined to go ahead and file an actual insurance claim. Now we have full coverage premium insurance, and for those that are asking on this car, which is a 3-year-old car but in very good shape, it ran about 25,000 pesos for 2 years. And I highly recommend that if you have the money, um, make it a 2-year policy versus a 1 year because you get a heavy discount in the Philippines for paying for 2 years. Now, as you can tell, I'm pointing at some minor damage here. Now, at the same time, we had a couple little nicks above the license plates, and if you look here, they're extremely. I mean, rock chips would have done the same, but this did occur from the time of the accident. So what we did was we looked around and we said, okay, again, these are things you can live with. The car's 3 years old. This is really minor stuff. However, that sensor that I pointed to in the first picture caused a lot of issues. So we took the car in, and I thought they could just realign the sensor or do something with it because that sensor cause a whole lot of issues with the car. The ABS system, the front radar anti collision system, the cruise control system, and a couple others. So basically, all these little red and yellow highlights you see here are all because that sensor was not working or was broken. Now, I was kind of surprised because it was such a minor hit that maybe I figured it was just out of alignment. The guys at Ford could realign it, do whatever they need and clear all these alerts. But apparently that's not the case. And I needed these things fixed, right? So, I wasn't going to ignore these. The little bumps and scratches and things you saw on the front of the car, hey, you know what? That's just not a big deal in my opinion. My wife will tell you otherwise, but I didn't think nothing of it. But having these other issues appear that were non-resettable, meaning to say if there was an accident, maybe these things all had an alert and you had to go in to the CAN bus and reset these in the computer module. However, the four guys come back and said, nope, the module itself was broken. And I'll get into the prices here in a second, but I was like, all right, I mean, pretty fragile thing to put right in the very front of the bumper without any kind of protection. But if it's broke, and that's just the way it is. Let's take care of it. Now, keep in mind, this is a 2022 Ford Territory, so it's a fairly new car. We were pretty happy with it. We've had it for 3 years now, and this is the first issue we've had. Um, and we've always had full coverage insurance. That's not a thing. But why we're taking it in, and since we did have full coverage insurance, my wife about a year ago got a nasty door ding from somebody at the mall, or she's not even sure where it happened because it was on the passenger side. And I couldn't use the suction cups to pull it out because it was right on a seam there. So we went ahead and included this with the claim, even though it was not related to the actual accident itself. It is a claimable item, and since we're getting paint and body work done, I had this thrown in because why not, right? That thing really, it just annoyed me that somebody hit the car so hard with their door that they put a ding in there. But some people, what can I say? So when it comes to the pricing, and this is the main key why I filed the claim, is that computer module, and I'm going to show you here in a second. was $1,000 just for the part, right? So if you see the line 3 down there, it says cruise control module radar, 59,500 pesos. So it was actually more than $1,000 just for the part itself. Labor came in at around 36,000, and then the bottom silver bumper, they call it front lower bumper, that was replaced for 7,500, and then a couple clips and some other things. Now, in the top part, it did include painting, and that's the little chips and the little door repair for the door was 10,000, just 10,000 pesos just to pull that little door dent out. But yeah, so this was approximately $1,860, you know, for this repair. So, I went ahead and said, yeah, let's authorize it. Now, here's some interesting things is when I filed this claim with my insurance company, I was able to do it all through email, which was pretty great. I just provided the policy number, my wife's name, and then my particular insurance, and they might all differ. They wanted a PNP report with the police, which we had. My wife immediately took the guy and went and got a blotter and cleared all liability at the same time. She had to have a valid license. We sent a copy of that over in email as well. And then they wanted a copy of the VIN number, which I just took a picture of. They wanted a copy of the license plate. And then we had to get a summarized or notarized summary of the accident where my wife had to actually type out how it happened, what occurred, etc. They wanted some photos of the damage, and then they wanted us to take it to a place to have the estimate. Now, I'd already taken it to Ford, and the insurance company said, uh, take it back to Ford. We want our guys to look at it. I think they were also saying, that's a lot of money for a little sensor. Is it really broken, or is Ford trying to milk this? So we took the car back to Ford and dropped it off. And then we waited. And then we waited. And we waited. So the car was at Ford or the repair shop or wherever they might have taken it to for over a month. And this was waiting for their guys, the insurance company inspector to look, then waiting to order the parts and waiting to get the money from the insurance company to the dealership, and then doing the actual repair work, getting it into wherever they do their paint and body work. I mean, it's extremely minor chips and stuff, but I don't know if they did that on site or not, but it took over a month. In our policy out here, maybe full coverage and premium package, the best they offer, it does not cover a rental or a loaner car. Now, this is something I highly recommend that if you guys are going to negotiate insurance packages, squeeze that in there. It has all the roadside assistance, all the free towing, all that great stuff included. But when you're out of a car for a month for these kind of minor repairs, it's kind of frustrating. And, that's just the way it is. Now, I wanted to just say thanks for watching my videos and hit that like button before I give you my final thoughts here. And let me know if you've had experiences in the Philippines dealing with insurance claims and adjustments. Now, it's fairly straightforward. It just took a long time. And I thought it was pretty expensive for just a couple little parts, right? The bumper's plastic, but that radar sure made it all different. I'm glad to say that they fixed everything, including the dent on the side. They touched up all the little dings in the front bumper. They even pounded out the license plate back to flat. And they refixed all the computer stuff with the radar and cruise control. So the car's up and running. My wife's happy. It's a lot safer now, and that's key. We wanted to make sure this stuff was safe. So going forward, guys, for 25,000 for 2 years, get the insurance on your vehicle, and it covers all the things insurance covers. Thanks, guys.